Let me ask you a question. How expensive is Barber College? Is $10,000 too expensive for Barber College? Is $20,000 expensive for Barber College? Let's unpack this and let's talk about Barber College. I am so sick and tired of hearing about this, of barbers talking about, oh, $8,000 is too expensive for Barber College. Oh, $10,000 is too expensive for Barber College. Oh, I paid $15,000, that's too expensive for Barber College. I am sick and tired of hearing this argument that Barber College is too expensive. Like, oh, I can't pay $10,000, that's just too much money. But let's just talk about the truth of it all. First, a lot of these people that talk like this have no understanding about business and how business works and how business is run to understand the numbers and why they probably might be charging this much for Barber College. And then two, a lot of these other people are just cheap. They're just flat out cheap and broke. One thing you have to understand about barber colleges are there are a lot of fixed costs that comes along with Barber College. Now look, I'm gonna name a few and I'm probably not gonna come close to naming all of them, but you have rent on a big commercial building. In some cases, all barber colleges are different sizes, but in general, you have a very hefty rent payment every single month. Also, you have to pay salary to your workers, whether it's the instructors, the administrators, and a lot of times you can't just have one instructor. Sometimes you have utilities. Of course, you have the cost of putting a barber college together. Then you have all other sorts of licensing fees. And then of course, God forbid, you being the barber college owner, you take a profit because, hey, everyone doesn't want to see you take a profit, right? As the owner, no one wants to see you take a profit. And it's sort of the same thing with barber shops. A lot of barber shops and the barbers that work within a barber shop don't want to see the owner make any money. You're putting up all the risk, you're putting your ass on the line for you to take very minimal profits just to make barbers happy or students happy. To me, that makes no sense. And I'm sure if you were in that same position, you would want to make some money. That's the purpose of a business. No one opens a business with the intention of not turning a profit. And that goes back to what you hear within a barber shop where you hear barbers say, oh, booth rent's too expensive, $200 a week for booth rent is too expensive. No, it's really not. It's just a cost of doing business. Now, if you don't like it, go open your own business. Now, why is that not the case? Because people don't want the responsibility of running a business and all the headaches that go along with it. Which means if you have to put up with all of this, don't you think you would want to be compensated for all of your hard work? Think about it, guys. Another funny thing about Barber College is this. A lot of people qualify for Pell Grants or some sort of grant, maybe a FAFSA or just something. The irony here is the broke people that complain that Barber College is too expensive probably qualify for some of those grants. Therefore, you should use that money to pay for your Barber College. I understand maybe you have to take out a student loan, but hey, if you get grant money, use that money to pay off the Barber College. It's that simple, guys. Through my time of going through Barber College, I would see people get the grant money, disappear from school, to show up weeks to months later trying to get back into the barbershop program because they got that $5,000, $7,000 check and they ran off and did something stupid with the money, and now they're trying to come back to Barber College to try and make something of themselves, which I'm saying to myself, why don't you just take life serious? Why don't you be a responsible adult and be responsible for your future? As if that wasn't enough, let's look at some hard numbers and really prove to you why Barber College is really not that expensive. Now, as you see here, we have the difference between a barber salary and a doctor's salary. And on average, according to Google, a barber's salary ranges from $20K to $67K. Now, of course, this number can vary. There are plenty of barbers that make above $67K. So, of course, remember, this is just an average of these numbers. Now, a doctor, on the other hand, they make $86K all the way up to $260K according to Google. I know you're probably thinking, why the hell are you comparing barbers to doctors? It's like apples to oranges. Remember, guys, doctors came from barbers. And now to understand these two average income numbers, this will all put the cost of school into perspective. Because when you look at Barber College, now I didn't do an average on Barber College. I took really a very aggressive approach on Barber College. I bumped it up all the way to $27K. Now, me personally, I paid about $17,500 for my Barber College. And by the time I left the school, the price had gone up, I think $500 more. But we're gonna say $20,000 as in 2020. Now, when you look at medical school, the average cost of medical school is anywhere between $150,000 to $247,000 just to get your medical education. Of course, we know medical school to be very, very expensive, but of course the income potential is very, very high. But let's look at barbers on the other hand. Now let's say this average was from 8K to 20K. Now, look at the income earnings potential between the two. If you pay $20,000 for your barber education, you can easily pay this back within 1 year and then have great income earning potential throughout your career. The thing is, guys, you have to look at barbering as a career and not a side hustle. It is a career, something that you can make a massive amount of income potential. I don't want to sell you guys short here at $67,000. I'm just here to tell you, this is the average. You can make a lot more than this on average. Of course, we know medical school for doctors to be very expensive, but the massive income earning potential is massive. Now look, at the top end on average, it's $260,000, but we all know there's doctors that make millions of dollars every year. Now, of course, these are the types of specialists and things like this, but as a barber, you can make so much money compared to the top end of a barber college. The one mistake people make when looking at barber college cost is the massive income earning potential and the cost of being successful. In some cases, you cannot just be successful for free. You cannot just be successful on a discount. And sometimes you have to pay to play. Now for me, this topic is undebatable. There's no question that barber college is not that expensive. Now, if we were talking about barber college being $50,000, maybe potentially, right? But if you look at the medical school example, some of those schools on average at the top end is the full annual salary. So in the case of, is barber college expensive? If you were to pay $50,000, would that be too expensive? Because you can come out of barber college and easily make $50,000. So in that case, is it expensive? Naturally, you're gonna have the pushback from the people that say, oh, I don't learn anything in barber college. They didn't teach me anything in barber college. And oh, they only taught me sanitation. I didn't learn how to fade well. That's not their job, guys. That's not their job to make you the dopest barber on earth. And let me let you in on a little fact. You don't have to be the best barber in the world to make some good money. Now that we've got that established, let's go out here and make the best of this career and make the most money you possibly can and actually enjoy the fruits of your labor from what you put in, because of course, what you put into this career is what you're gonna get out. And if you put minimal effort in, you're gonna get minimal effort in return. And of course, if that's all you value is what you learned in barber college, in any case, in most careers, a real career, you have to do some form of continued education because you have to stay on top of your career if you really value it. And that's the same thing with barber college. A lot of people don't look at it as a career. They look at it as a hustle or side hustle or just something they do to make a little bit of extra money. And they don't take the profession serious. And this is the problem. And these are a lot of times people that think barber college is too expensive. So let's get to the money, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. It's been your man, I Do It, signing out. I'll holla.